June lived for her garden. It was a patch of vibrant English colors, foxgloves, hydrangeas, and trailing lobelia that spilled over the edges of their pots. At 71, she felt as sturdy as the ancient oak at the end of her lane, moving with a rhythm honed by decades of changing seasons. To June, the garden wasn't just a hobby, it was her sanctuary, a place where every bloom told a story of her care. High above the patio, her favorite hanging basket was looking a little dry. June stretched her arms upward, her fingers straining toward the cocoa fiber rim. The morning sun warmed her face as she reached for the trailing blooms, wanting to check the soil. She had done this 1,000 times before, never giving the height or her footing a second thought. Suddenly, the world tilted. Her heel missed the edge of a paving stone, and her heart leaped into her throat. She stumbled, her weight shifting dangerously, before her hand found the back of a heavy wooden garden chair. Her knuckles were white as she steadied herself. She hadn't fallen, but the air felt thin with a sudden, sharp fear that she couldn't quite shake. It was a close call, a moment of silence in the buzzing garden. Inside, June sat at her kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a warm mug of tea.
Just getting older,
she whispered to the empty room, trying to dismiss the tremor in her legs. She decided then that the hanging baskets were simply too high now, and perhaps she shouldn't be out there alone. She felt a heavy sadness, fearing the garden was becoming a burden she could no longer manage. A few days later, June visited the health center to see Alistair. She mentioned her wobbly moment almost as an afterthought, expecting him to agree that she should slow down. But Alistair listened with quiet intent, his focus entirely on her story. He didn't see it as an inevitable sign of decline, but as a vital piece of information that needed action. Alistair explained that a near miss wasn't just a senior moment, it was a quiet warning sign.
It's a message from your body, June,
he said gently.
In clinical terms, we see a near miss as a chance to intervene. It's telling us to check the foundations now so you can keep doing what you love. It's about being proactive to stay independent.
They started with a practical review. Alistair looked at her long-term medications, explaining that sometimes certain combinations can affect balance or cause subtle dizziness. They also performed a simple gait and balance assessment. June realized that finding the cause of the wobble was like troubleshooting a drooping plant, you just had to find what was missing. Alistair then discussed her garden gear. He spoke about the importance of supportive footwear with good grip and suggested a clever pulley system for her high baskets.
Safety isn't about giving things up.
Alistair noted.
It's about making corrections. These small changes ensure the garden remains your sanctuary, not a place of worry.
2 weeks later, June was back in her sanctuary. She wore a new pair of supportive shoes that gripped the stone firmly, providing a solid base. With a gentle tug on a newly installed pulley cord, her hanging basket lowered smoothly to chest height. The petunias met her halfway, and June felt a surge of triumph as she watered them, her feet planted securely on the ground. The lingering fear was gone, replaced by a renewed sense of mastery. June realized that listening to the warning sign and seeking a correction wasn't a loss of independence, it was the very thing that secured it. She stood among her flowers, safe, steady, and exactly where she belonged, ready for many more seasons of growth and color.